It's Dr. Rachel Langley here in Colorado Springs, where it's beginning to look like it's starting to snow, so I'm hoping to get this video done before things get bad. I still have to bike home, and it might be a cold bike ride. But I was thinking today about how there's one thing that I could offer to everyone to help them live longer, live better, live and be able to do the things that they want to do. It would be to exercise. And it's not impossible to fit it into your daily life, but it can be a challenge. I think that so often we get hung up on doing these kind of motions and this kind of weights or doing this for 60 minutes or something like that. But really, any activity that you can make work for you and enjoy is what I would say you should do more of. So even if it's walking with the kids to the playground and walking laps around the playground while they're playing, keeping an eye on them, maybe trying to do some pull-ups on the swings. I mean, it's setting in a good example for them as well as doing good things for yourself. It's a win-win situation. Walking your dog, I love walking. Walking is such a great, it's cardiovascular, it's low impact, but it's still growing solid, healthy bones. I mean, and it's good for your mental health too. I love listening to audiobooks and podcasts, but if you can make sure that you spend some time walking, just thinking to yourself, praying, talking with a friend, it's so healing for your mind as well. I know that Dr. V likes to do his workouts. He has a weight routine that he likes, I believe, that he does at 5 in the morning in his house. So we got to convince him to share his workout secrets and his routine because that would be fun to see. And maybe it would be helpful for you guys out there too. So leave some comments so we can convince him that he should do a video on that too. I remember recently I discovered the Pop Sugar channel on YouTube. It's got some really great workouts on it. I discovered this, my sister-in-law, Catherine, she introduced me to it. She showed me some really hard ones. I think my favorite was there's one from Selena Gomez's trainer. I'll see if I can pull it up real quick. Well, Catherine is former security forces, and now she's a stay-at-home mom to a gaggle of kids. I don't know which is the tougher job, but yeah, which is more hardcore. But she's a tough lady, and she recommends these workouts, so you know they got to be good. But yeah, so you can kind of see the workouts. I started doing these workouts and I really liked them because they were free, because there was a big variety of them. I wasn't just stuck in doing one kind of workout. So just depending on what I was feeling that day, I could get involved with. And then I noticed I really liked this particular kind of workout that I hadn't heard of before. And I found out that it was called barre. So that's another good one that I like a lot too. I like barre 3 a lot, but there's lots of free videos online, especially on YouTube. I'll pull one up for you there too. I think it's called barre, don't quote me on this, but I think it's based out of ballet a little bit. It's also got some yoga. It's got some Pilates. I really like it because it's low impact. Ooh, here's some examples of barre that I'll let kind of play in the corner. This is just off of YouTube. I hope it's not any kind of copyright. But it's a cool workout. I like it, especially first thing in the morning at 5 a.m. when I have a chance to work out. I am not feeling like jumping and bouncing all over the place or doing anything that takes a lot of yay spirit. But sitting there and doing squats for half an hour, I can do that. And that's kind of what barre is. And then laying on the floor to do some abs. I'm all about laying on the floor at 5 in the morning. Maybe you are too. And then I end up getting a good workout and it gives me energy for the rest of the day. One of the things I like about it that I think you can apply to all your workouts is they talk a lot about the range of motion of your spine. So not only does your back bend forward and backward, but keep in mind that it also side bends and it also rotates. And if you want to be able to move in all those ways throughout your life, you've got to use it. You've got to be moving that much every day. So keeping that in mind, I think I see a lot of muscle injuries and back injuries that have to do with just not getting that motion in, not letting your back move the ways that it's designed, so you start to lose it. And then you try to do some slightly funny movement one day and it twists it in a way that it's not used to moving, and that's how you get injured. I also really like all those different squats. They have different like foot positionings and back positionings as you're doing squats and weighted or no weights. And I think that's really important for your quadriceps. So the tops of your thighs, that's where your quadriceps are. And remember, that means there's 4 muscles there that are all pulling in a slightly different direction. So if you're not strengthening those equally and stretching those pretty equally, one is going to end up getting stronger and pulling on that kneecap a lot. And that's going to cause a lot of knee pain. I think that's definitely a contributing factor to runner's knee or patellofemoral syndrome. So I'm a big fan of squats in different positions. I also like the emphasis on gluteal strength, not just because of vanity. It's not all about having a nice looking tush, but it's also the major spring in your body. And it's, if you read some things about barefoot running, there's a lot of theories about that's the reason that people can run the way they do, that people can run for such long distances, and that we're pretty fast runners as far as, comparing us with other animals. And it all comes down to that gluteal muscle being such a strong spring. And I've noticed a lot less back pain. The more I work on that area of my body, the more it takes the load off of my low back. So I really like that. Finding creative ways to work your abs. I personally, especially after being in the military, am so sick of sit-ups and crunches. They just kill my neck. So being able to work out my abs in some other way, some people will do, there's cool YouTube videos on how to do a standing ab workout. How cool is that? Or ways of using like a play ball. I should have brought one in, one that your kids play back, toss back and forth when they're little, and it hits them in the face and they don't mind so much. You can put that underneath your back while you're doing different ab exercises to add some unsteadiness there and add some more core work. I really like that creativity of working your abs and your core helps keep exercise interesting. And in general, I like the body positivity that I found in barre. I don't like being yelled at while I'm working out, particularly. Maybe I did when I was younger, but not anymore. I'm not okay with that. If I'm working out, I deserve a round of applause. And I also like that there's lots of modifications of things you can do when you're just not feeling it. It's not just, if you're a wimpy, you can do it this way, but if you're hardcore, you do it this other way. No, I mean, you have days when you're just not feeling it, or when your shoulder just feels tweaked that way, or your hip feels funny if you try to put your legs like that. Yeah, and you should always be able to modify it and still get a good workout and not just have to sit that round out. That's not cool. I also am a big fan of yoga, of the stretching. I've even seen a really cool version of yoga that involves meditation over Bible passages called Petra. Yeah, my friend Katie, if you're watching this, you introduced me to that, and I think it's really cool. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. You can ask her. I was not looking forward to it, but it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that. But making sure that you're taking the time to stretch out the muscles that you're bulking up to make sure that they're not going to just get tight and spasmed and cause injury. So no matter what way you find works out for you, do it. I try to post on Workout Wednesdays on Facebook to encourage you to be active. Please feel free to post your own selfies. That would be great to see. And I'll try to, you guys leave comments, and we'll try to convince Dr. V and maybe some of the other office staff to include some of their favorite workouts.